All right, today we are reading Sonnet 74, and this is a fairly complex sonnet. At least the couplet is complex, and I think if you haven't read Sonnet 73, definitely do that because this is a companion poem to Sonnet 73. Sonnet 73 at least establishes some of the main ideas, a meditation on the poet's death. And in this sonnet, the poet takes up that meditation further. The speaker is consoling the beloved, saying that although his body will die, his spirit will live on through poetry. And this is a very classical idea. We've seen it in Ovid and Horace. But this sonnet really moves. It's propelled by repetition. And so we'll be looking at how Shakespeare uses repetition to make logical progression and logical transits through the sonnet. Now first we'll read it. But be contented when that fell arrest without all bale shall carry me away. My life hath in this line some interest, which for memorial still with thee may stay. When thou reviewest this, thou dost review the very part was consecrate to thee. The earth can have but earth, which is his due. My spirit is thine, the better part of me. So then, thou hast but lost the dregs of life, the prey of worms, my body being dead, the coward conquest of a wretch's knife, too base of thee to be remembered. The worth of that is that which it contains, and that is this, and this with thee remains. Now the first quatrain establishes some legal language as well as some the language of money or finance. Be contented when that fell arrest without all bail. And for non-native English speakers, bail is payment for release from jail or prison. So he's saying, be but contented when that fell arrest without all bail. What is the arrest without all bail? That is death. When death shall carry me away, my life hath in this line some interest. Here again is the idea of money, interest, a return of borrowed money. But also in this line we have, again, a very self-conscious poem. It's the double meaning of in this line, this very line of the sonnet, which for memorial still with thee shall stay. And if you haven't read Sonnet 55, that may help with that because there has been an established theme here through that sonnet of the idea that the sequence or the individual sonnets make up a memorial to the beloved. When thou reviewest this, meaning when thou read this, the sonnet, thou dost review the very part was consecrate to thee. Again, Sonnet 55 talked about how the memorial of his verse was consecrated to the beloved. The earth can have but earth, again with the repetition. It's not quite polyptoton, but it's just the repetition of the same word, and it echoes the liturgy. You've heard ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So earth to earth was a proverbial term for death in Shakespeare's day, which is his due. Earth is the earth's due. Another financial word here. My spirit is thine, the better part of me. So the dust of his flesh is earth's, that's earth's due, but his spirit is thine. So then, so that was this is the second quatrain, moving on to the third quatrain. So then thou hast but lost the dregs of life, the prey of worms, my body being dead, the coward conquest of a wretch's knife, too base of thee to be remembered. And we do pronounce the E here, simply to make that 10th syllable of the iambic pentameter line. So again, just to review, the very part that was consecrated to thee was his spirit, which is also the better part of the poet, and it was consecrated through the lines of this sonnet. Thou reviewest this. The worth of that is that which it contains, and that is this, and this with thee remains. So So see this hinge? These are the hinges of the two lines right there on that repetition. This and this, that is that. So the worth of that, what does that mean? The worth of the body is that which it contains, and that is the spirit. So the worth of the body is the spirit which the body contains. And that spirit is this sonnet, and this sonnet with the remains. So it's almost like, okay, so this is weird. It's almost like just as the body contains the spirit, so does this sonnet contain my spirit. My spirit now lives on through this sonnet. So it's how the poet basically establishes this complex. He's being deliberately complex, but in a witty way. So again, we saw in Sonnet 73 how the demonstrative pronouns that and this were used in the final couplet, and how they're compounded here in repetition. And it actually, the logic of those lines hinge upon that repetition. Shakespeare will sometimes do that in interesting ways. So definitely an interesting sonnet. Conversation with other sonnets that we've seen before, and some sonnets that we'll do further in this video series. Again, sometimes he uses sonnets just to establish a rhythm and establish an image, and then only to take it further in new and interesting ways in further sonnets. That's what's so great about these sonnets. You have to read them from the beginning to the end to really appreciate what all they're doing in their complexities. Thanks for watching. I hope this was interesting, and until next time.